What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Panfro Games, and here we are with another daily dose of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news and leak info to share with you all today. And today we actually had a brand new Pokemon trailer, pretty small one, but there was some very interesting details in it, and we're going to be covering all of that and a couple of other leaks as well. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video. I really appreciate it. If you didn't see the trailer, it's relatively short. It's only about 2 minutes long, and we know that Grafaiai lives in the forest and it paints on the base of trees. The reason why it's actually painting on the base of trees is for two particular reasons. One, it is using the paint to actually attract bug type Pokemon like a Scatterbug and actually trap them. And it's attracting them with the sweetness of the smell on the paint, and it's going to trap them and eat the Pokemon. Similar how an actual II in real life would eat bugs, Grafaiai is doing the exact same thing. We also know that Grafaiai also eats berries, and the berries have a special effect on it. It will change the paint color. So maybe in the actual Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we'll be catching different Grafaiais, and we'll be able to feed them different berries and potentially have an in-game effect of changing the colors of their attack, or maybe it'll have a special attack that changes the type and the damage of it too. So I think that is something really interesting to look out for. We know that it will paint over other Grafaiai's paint to take over the land. It wants to be very dominant and alpha about everything. So, you know, this is a Pokemon that probably doesn't make friends very easily. And I can really see this Pokemon be part of like Team Rocket too. It just has that general vibe and look to it. And honestly, design wise, it's a little bit weird. I'm not sure how I feel about the blonde on the front here, but I really do like the eyes. It does have the Spider-Man eye look to it as well. And of course, there is more information about Grafaiai on the Pokemon website. And I gotta say, I did not like how Grafaiai really looked in that video we just watched. However, I think the artwork here, this official artwork, is absolutely phenomenal. I'm a big fan of its general design. Still, the blonde is a little bit weird, but I do have a feeling that this is supposed to be like a hoodie, right? It's supposed to be more of a delinquent Pokemon, and I get like a big vibe that this is supposed to be a hoodie, and this is like the front of like some blonde tips. In Japan, you know, delinquents usually will dye their hair blonde because most people in Japan don't have natural blonde hair. So they'll, you know, dye their hair blonde like the tips, and then I can see them having like a hood. And I can totally see Grafaiai being on the evil team roster overall, just because it just seems like it has that general mood to it. And Grafaiai's fingers are very crooked, very gross. I actually love it. I think it's really gross, but I think it's very cool. And, you know, if the fact that these sort of look like roller painters, you know, like when you get a nice roller, put it in paint and just run on the walls, it sort of has that general vibe to it too. So I'm actually in love with the design of this Pokemon, and it is confirmed now to be a poison and normal type called the Toxic Pokemon. And Grafaiai is a moody Pokemon with a fastidious disposition. It doesn't form packs, preferring to roam alone. It's constantly caught up in territorial struggles of other Pokemon. So we were right from the trailer. It is a solo Pokemon, does not want to have friends. I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens with this Pokemon in the anime. And we also know Grafaiai's two abilities, which is Unburden and Poison Touch. If you're unfamiliar, Unburden doubles the Pokemon speed once his item has been used or lost. So pretty much we're going to have to be using berries or some sort of like gem type of item with Grafaiai so we can actually proc Unburden. Unburden is a fantastic ability, but you do need a build around it. But we know that its paint does change color based on what type of berry that it eats. So like I said before, I think there is going to be a signature move that's going to allow us to proc a berry, and then we're going to be able to get that Unburden boost. The other move is Poison Touch, which is actually really good. It essentially increases the chance of contact moves poisoning. So all contact moves will not have the ability to poison, which is a really strong move actually at the end of the day. But it also will stack on top of moves like Poison Jab. So it'll make it so like Poison Jab will have a higher chance of actually poisoning. So I think Grafaiai has a chance of being a really good Pokemon. My only issue with it is I don't think it's going to necessarily have the stats, but we do know that the poison in normal typing is phenomenal defensive typing. You are only weak against ground and psychic, and both of those there's immunities that you can switch into. You can also have an air balloon. You can also Terra type change Grafaiai to be immune to either ground or psychic. So there's a lot of great things going on for this Pokemon on the defensive side. So I do have a lot of high hopes for it. We also got a couple of screenshots of what Grafaiai looks like in game, and I'm pretty happy what it looks like, especially on this image on the right. I really like how vibrant the fingers are compared to its actual body. And I am a big fan of the eye shape too. It's just the Spider-Man look. I mean, the green and purple, I gotta be real, that is Panfro Games color, so I am very biased there. But honestly, I think it looks really good with its in-game model. And not only that, we also learned a couple of other things about Grafaiai. We learned that it sets up poison traps around its territory, and Grafaiai is a nocturnal Pokemon. Once the sun sets, it licks its hands and fingers to cover them in poison, then uses them to draw patterns on the trees in its territory. The poisonous saliva it uses to paint paralyzes bug Pokemon, which are drawn to the saliva's sweet, fragrant scents. When dawn draws near, Grafaiai goes to collect any incapacitated Pokemon. So essentially, Grafaiai is out here hunting all night and is going to eat those bugs later in the morning, which is very similar to an II in real life. But I do think that this is hinting at a signature move that may be able to paralyze as well. So maybe it won't poison, or maybe it will be able to poison and paralyze. We're going to have to wait and see, but I think that's very interesting that it said the word paralyze. So if it gets a move that's like what 70 or 80 base attack that has like a 20 or 30% chance to paralyze, this is going to be a nasty Pokemon. We also learned that when Grafaiai senses danger, its poisonous saliva becomes even more toxic. This Pokemon specializes in using its poisonous saliva, which changes color depending on what the Pokemon eats, to attack foes by spitting at them or by slashing at them after coating its claws with saliva. When Grafaiai senses danger, its poison rapidly becomes more concentrated, resulting in a potent toxin that, once absorbed, will immobilize a victim for 3 whole days. So once again, we are hearing about immobilization, which is very similar to being paralyzed, essentially a synonym for paralyzed. So there is something about paralyzing a foe with its poison. We know that you can't have a double status on a Pokemon, so you can't like poison and paralyze something, but I wonder there's going to be a move that has a chance of either poisoning or paralyzing a Pokemon, which could be really interesting if a move you do has an option of 2 different status effects. So, that could be its signature move, or maybe this is hinting at a hidden ability where it actually, when it poisons you, it doesn't just poison you, it's going to toxic you instead. So you're going to take more rapid damage instead of just the standard 12%. You're going to be taking the 6 and then the 12 and then so on and so forth. So there's a lot of secrets to Grafaiai here. I'm very interested in seeing this thing in action. Mostly interested in seeing his base stats though. And honestly, I'm very interested in the shiny too, because I really love how colorful this thing is, so the shiny is going to be out of this world. A couple of other things about Grafaiai I want to mention is, one, this trainer is absolutely going to be using Grafaiai. I mean, he literally has spray paint around him covered in the green and purple paint, just like Grafaiai's eyes. So this is 100% going to be a Grafaiai user. Are they on the evil team? We don't know for sure, but there is potential. We also know that Grafaiai has a pre-evolution that looks like a mouse. And there we have it, guys. That is all of the new information about Grafaiai out there. And overall, I'm very happy about it. I think it's going to be a cool Pokemon. Definitely let me know in the comment section below how you feel about Grafaiai. If I had to rate it from a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this Pokemon an 8.5. I think it's great. I don't think it's necessarily amazing, but I do think it is going to be a great Pokemon. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a great one.